If they did a versus, who you think win? Like if Fab performs better,
is DJ
than
Booth DJing for Fab?
Not Jadakiss versus Fab.
Is DJ Booth DJing for Fab?
20 songs?
That's my question.
Fab wins
20 songs.
That's the part where I don't get you.
Now, y'all know it's only one answer to this question. Y'all know who I'm picking. Dylon, okay? Now, we got the Joe Budden podcast. They're discussing the viral conversation of Fabolous versus Lloyd Banks. Let's see what the Podfather had to say about this. You better like the video. You better subscribe. Let's get it.
Banks versus Fab has been a topic recently because Uncle Murda and Tony Yayo went on the Breakfast Club where they were asked that question. And it looked like they had a nice 4v1 going against Tony Yayo in favor of Fab. But Yayo is so charismatic and just loud and boisterous. While he was arguing for Banks, all I heard was his voice over the OG on the mixtapes. Like, he could make anything sound like war is coming to you.
Facts.
He was just having like a barbershop debate, and it sounded like, oh my God.
He's the perfect potter. Like, even just him describing his meals, you just be so intrigued. I'm over there eating elk. I'm over there eating elk. You niggas eating French toast. I'm eating elk.
Yeah, whatever he's talking about. Go anyway we go. The drama unfolds the clip round. Yeah, I just hear his voice over all that. But I thought Envy would rap a little more. That's my man, and this is Desert Storm podcast at this point in time. I thought Envy would rep a little more for Fab. He let Tony Yayo do a lot of talking up there. He let Tony Yayo say a lot. I'll ask the distinguished panel here, who is better, Fab or Banks? I don't expect us to spend a lot of time on this. I do like that with this and with the common Jadakiss one, it feels like when people throw these names together, they're people that I feel like aren't further than 5 spots apart from each other anyway.
Yeah, that's what makes it fun.
So,
but when you ask that, you saying like overall or like mixtape Fab and Banks
overall.
or album?
On the all-time great list, who's higher?
Yeah. Oof, damn, that's really tricky.
Fab.
It's Fab for me.
I would say Fab. It gotta be Fab.
I roll with Banks, man.
Banks hard, but it's just he's not over Fab.
I think Banks got better
overall.
albums. I'm using the same metric that I used with the common Kiss debate.
It's Fab for me, and I know Banks. Remember what happened last time I picked somebody over him. But yes.
Fab's got better features and singles and bangers.
Yeah.
I'm going with Fab. As much as I don't, I'm not.
It's
huge.
hard. This is hard for me.
I don't think it's the wrong answer, but I'm going with Fab by a hair. Even though I agree with you on the albums, and that usually is my thing, but Fab just.
I have Fab by a hair, too. I have Fab by a Mike Shorey feature.
Okay.
I have Fab by Little Mo Studio stop by.
That's crazy.
Like if he's not on a Little Mo record and don't have records with Lil Mo, like and just who else he got that fucking
Or
record
Tamia,
with? He got
or
some
J-Lo, or
Tamia, bro.
Neo.
Like that's what I don't think it's a hair.
But Banks, they wash each other out for me because Banks got all the fly girl records. He does.
He does.
And he got all the fly mixtape shit.
He does.
And he has all of the bars in the world. I give Fab, I gotta go with Fab because I feel like he fucked more bitches than Banks.
That is important.
Sorry.
That's a hell of a metric.
That's important in this debate. That's very important.
It
It's
is
super
important when you
who
put a
gets the
better
most
rapper.
pussy.
No,
Yes,
when
who
you
gets the most pussy is important.
Because it goes to I go to what Pac said, yo. If the girls are there, everything else will follow.
That's a fact.
If the girls buy your music, so the girls bought both of their songs.
Right.
I gotta land this on who has more appeal. And because of Banks is who he is, he's going to lose that one. Right. Banks wants to be home. Banks wants to be with his family. He want to be out of the public. He don't want to talk to y'all. He don't want to tweet y'all. He don't want nothing to do with y'all. All he want to do is rap, and he's been like that. That's why 50 of these niggas can say what they want. Yayo can say, you're not going to ever hear him say nothing. No, why? He don't care. Fab, on the other hand.
Okay.
Fab outside.
But that don't mean that he ain't fucking. Just because y'all don't see me out.
I think Fab wins the appeal slider.
Fab can rap.
Definitely wins the appeal.
Both of them can rap. You can't deny
But Banks
their
probably
ability.
wins the touring argument because Fab never toured.
Okay.
Oh, Fab never
Never toured. He's
Doesn't Banks tour? Doesn't Banks primarily tour with 50?
Banks tours. Banks has toured.
Banks tours
he
now.
tours on his own.
I mean, yes, but I'm talking about.
He's toured before.
I thought you meant big tour numbers. I'm saying.
I'm just
Not
saying,
City
Banks,
Winery
Fab
tours.
has not toured. Period.
Fab won't tour.
He hasn't
I got
toured.
you. You're just saying him touring. Period. I got you. I got you.
Which is one of the more interesting mysteries in hip hop that nobody ever talks about. Like, I understood that him saying maybe I don't want to tour or do shows or go anywhere back in the day when, you know, it's lit. I'm not trying to do all that. He left a lot of money on the table.
I'm sure.
And is leaving a lot of money on the table, and I wonder why. I'm going Fab by a hair.
It's very close, but I'm
going
Fab
Fab
I'm going Banks
by a hair.
Can I ask y'all a Banks question? What is the most important Banks song to you? You know, like when we talk about Common and Jadakiss, we might say this or that. We can name a couple of tracks. What's the biggest Banks song, the most important Banks song for y'all?
It's too many.
It's a few songs on that first album.
Beamer, Benz, and Bentley.
Started Up.
Karma. Started Up. Any Girl.
On Fire, Warrior,
Anytime.
On
Fire,
Warrior.
Oh, yeah, On Fire.
Shit,
He's got too
Victory
many.
Freestyle.
The reason I asked that was because Victory
That
Freestyle
might be the one.
That's
That might be
mine.
the one.
That's the
mine.
one.
But when I started thinking about the biggest Fab tracks, that was the thing that got me Fab over Banks a little bit. Was for mainstream hip hop, for radio, for all these other things. I feel like Fab's biggest ones might mean more to a wider range of people than Banks' biggest ones. That's why
I agree.
Hey,
Like Yayo's argument is, if we talking mainstream, there's no conversation to be had in terms of Banks versus Fab because of the success and popularity of G Unit.
G Unit.
and that's
Right.
That's where it gets tricky. It's not a bad argument, but we start talking about solo versus.
What? Respond.
You're taking a group and comparing it to a man. It's an unfair
He was in the
comparison.
group.
He played
A huge part of the
major
group.
part in that group.
Yeah.
So
He's literally known as like the only MC
The
in
spitter
in-
out
I'm not,
the
yeah.
he is
Word.
he's the best rapper in the group. So
If that group goes on to do Switzerland and Africa and France and all of these places, then that means that if you're in the group, then you know.
Joe
If they
Budden.
did a versus, who you think win? Like if Fab performs better
Is DJ
than he
Booth
did. No,
DJing
not,
for Fab?
Not Jadakiss versus Fab.
Is DJ Booth DJing
20
for Fab?
songs.
That's my question.
Fab wins
Fab
in the
wins.
verses.
Fab
I mean,
wins. 20 songs.
That's the part where I don't get y'all, man. Y'all just
If it's
be-
20
no,
songs,
no,
Fab's
no.
going to win. If it's 10 songs, I got Banks probably winning.
It's like such a super, because it's like the hip hop heads,
Banks.
motherfuckers that still listening to shit like that today, and then there's people that everything. And then the young people, I just think it's a simple thing. Like
got
he
Banks
can't
too,
beat
the
Fab in no
verses.
verses. How?
Y'all have Lloyd Banks, in a versus to 20 against
20 Fab
Fabulous.
wins. 10 Banks
Do you know
wins.
why?
How
That's
can
no,
Banks
right, that's-
beat Fab?
that's
How?
wild.
Because the verses ain't just the songs. We've seen this quite a million times. And Fab,
I'm not talking
man.
about DJ Booth Fab. Let's
I'm talking
pretend
about
that Fab did a good job.
I can't pretend that
Let's
because
pretend that
Fab
Joe got
goes-
the aux playing the Fab
Yeah.
song.
Yeah, exactly.
If they bring their best material and they both bring their best performance, because like you just said, the
Fab is
versus
gonna get up
big-
there and be too cool for the performance. That's
Fab
going to
Joe
hurt
got
him.
the
we had
Hawks
this
is
hypothetical.
over.
I'm just saying, Fab's music I think wins in the verses.
Shit, I don't know about that.
I think it's 11-9, 12-8.
start
I don't
throwing
think
in all
it's
the
close.
unit
Banks is a
records and
better
features.
performer, but
I
they're
don't
not.
know.
It's not like he has
So
a
having
huge
features,
amount
Fab
of.
been on some.
Yes.
Shut up.
Listen,
There ain't no wrong answer here, but I take
It
Fab by a hair.
absolutely is the wrong answer.
Fab is in my top
We are
5
not
favorite
gonna play
rappers
that
ever,
game.
so my answer is always going to be Fab.
Shout out to both of them. Some of these are going to be tough outs.
They are.
A lot of them
That's
just
11, to me, it's 11-9. Maybe.
Yeah, okay.
11-9, maybe
It's a
12-8, but
close
11-9.
one. I would have
probably.
loved to have seen it.
11-9
It's
Banks. I'm
close,
with you.
but it ain't a hair.
I never really got into the album cuts when it came to Lloyd. I know Lloyd can rap, okay? So I'm not going to even spend all day trying to act like I've studied the Lloyd Banks catalog. But I know that Fab catalog. And I know them soul tapes. And I know them girl records. I know the Tamia record. I know the Put It in the Bag remix. Just throw it in the bag. All on me, all I do, right around Bentley shoes. Man, I'm talking about the verses, okay? I got to give it to Fab, and it's not even close to me. And I also want to talk about the way Yayo was. He was glazing. And look, I know that's his man's. group member. But it's funny that he was up there glazing. Meanwhile, 50 was on Instagram clowning Lloyd and Fab. But at the same time, I was thinking to myself, ain't no way that Yayo really thinks that Fab, I don't care how you want to slice it, better rapper, better career, more hits. He don't believe none of that about Lloyd. That's just his man's. And see, you can't take anything Yayo saying as serious because you know when it's his people, he gonna ride or die no matter what. He's not gonna be objective. Meanwhile, Murda was over there. He was looking like, man, I don't know what Yayo talking about, but you know. And see, I'm going to tell you something. Yayo could feel that energy because he started talking about, yeah, Murda ain't get a house until he started messing with G-Unit. As if to say, hey, Murda, you better stick with the team. I don't know if y'all peeped that. Murda was looking like he was letting Yayo kind of go out there by himself. And then Yayo had to group him in, try to get him in check. Hey, don't forget, you bought a house because of G-Unit. I was like, that was kind of corny. I don't know why Yayo said that. That was very unnecessary. But whatever. Y'all tell me who y'all got. I got Fab. I need to hear from the Lloyd Banks committee in the comments. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.